ask you about this One Touch initiative here. I mean, obviously the head of the CBSA's union was raising it. I think he used the word app. They've since corrected it's not an app, but clearly there are questions about the system. You mentioned wanting more answers, but I guess what is your concern about it, and what would you like to see happen?
So my colleague Brad Redekop was actually the one who questioned the officials yesterday. I'll welcome him if he wants to say anything. I would just say this: super concerning. Especially when paired with the global news story about Hamas operatives being allowed into Canada, specifically one entered as a refugee. We do have immigration officials at committee this afternoon, and we intend to ask them more about this. Do you want to say anything else, Brad? Okay.
Just obviously on what you're mentioning today, I know at least the public safety minister has said, both C-12 and C-2 are imperfect built. I think that is his quote. So do you think that you will get buy-in? Have you talked to your Liberals of the committee? Do you think it's going to be a fight, or do you think that there is some common ground here?
Look, I think everybody in Canada, every political stripe, should be deeply concerned with public polling data that shows that Canadians are losing faith in the immigration system. I'm encouraged that in Canada, that debate hasn't devolved towards pointing fingers at immigrants themselves, and nor should it. The finger should be squarely pointed at the Liberal government. And if the Liberals are serious about restoring that public confidence, we've done our job as an opposition. I think that the measures that we've put here, kudos to my team and to Brad. We've put a lot of work into suggesting other policy alternatives that show us to be a government in waiting, frankly. But I certainly hope that the Liberals steal these ideas, because we're right on the precipice in Canada right now, especially if you watch what's happening in the UK, knowing that our numbers are actually, both by percentage and absolute numbers, worse here. Things need to change. So we're going to propose these common sense amendments. They're rooted in testimony, in news stories, and we hope that the Liberals will pass them.
So because Quebec governments believe that the federal government doesn't do enough on that front, they are considering right now cutting social assistance to asylum seekers. Do you think other provinces should also take the matter in their own hands?
Well, within our jurisdiction, we will be proposing amendments that would restrict federal benefits to emergency health care to those who have had failed asylum claims. The numbers that we've seen, for example, on the interim federal health program are shocking, a 1,200% increase over the last decade. This year is on track to be the highest numbers ever. The housing shortage, hotels for refugees, it is a mess, and it's not compassionate. So these are common sense reforms that hopefully will bring public confidence back into the immigration system and restore compassion to legitimate refugees who come here, who wait years to have their claims heard, right? So we're doing our job.
Just a clarification question on the amendment to remove most social services for people with failed refugee claims. Is that referring to people who have just failed at the IRB and are waiting a pre-removal risk assessment, or people who've also failed at the pre-removal risk assessment level? Just where would that kick in?
Well, as I said, we also think that the appeals process needs to be modernized itself, and we'll be presenting amendments on that front. It's very clear that the appeals process, as I mentioned, I think the wait time is 44 months right now. So that is a problem in and of itself that we will be proposing amendments to address. But frankly, I think Canadians want some change in this regard. Canada's system for allowing and accepting asylum claims is pretty generous. So somebody who's failed a review, I think it's fair that the only federal benefits that they receive is emergency health care, and I think a lot of Canadians would agree.
Just about a month ago, when the minister was at committee, you raised a lot of concern about the broadness of being able to change, modify, etc., immigration documents in matters of the public interest. Why aren't you putting forward any kind of amendment to shore up that definition?
Well, it is shocking that the Liberal government has proposed this type of a power. I think back to 2012 when then Immigration Minister Jason Kenney, he put forward some legislation, I believe it was in a budget implementation bill, to address backlogs that the Liberals had amassed during their time in government. And what the Liberals are proposing today, they do go a lot farther. The minister and the officials have to answer claims They made some claims that said that these powers would only be used in systems, in situations of fraud. The officials are going to be appearing before committee this afternoon, and I'll be weighing their testimony closely. Thank you.